Oh, we are live. Good. Hello. Good. Okay, let me hear this. Yes, it's working. So we're live. I'll be waiting just a couple of seconds. Anyway, hello and welcome. I'm very happy to connect with you, to be joined by you in this moment and exchange and connect and just have fun. So, welcome. Oh, hi, Roxy. Hello. Beautiful Roxy. Welcome. Um, yes, let's go into it. So many things I want to talk about. Yes, so I'm going to talk about the collective, but first, before talking about the collective, let me get into talking about Mad and God, the podcast that I'm hosting with my co-host Roxanne Swinehart. Oh yeah, it's we are now we have the second episode that is online, available for listening. So join us on our podcast, upload, like it, give us a rate. We will not take it bad. We don't care, but if you just give us a rate, a good one. Yeah, we're having a lot of fun doing that, and we'll keep doing it. And it seems that we have already doubled it, and we have done better than a lot of podcasts that do not reach the second episode, and we have already programmed the third one. So stay tuned, and yeah, we'll keep talking and chatting and get into it and row and without trying to be congeniality, right? We'll just be true and say as we see it, as we feel it, as we vibrate with it. And that's how we have fun. So, that's one thing. Let's think. Well, I've started these days to really get into magic. This is my one. I have to wait to see if it's on camera because I'm seeing. Yeah, it's on camera. Obviously, it's in front of my face, so my face is on camera, so my wand is on camera too. This is my wand. And I've started to do some magic with it. And, I come from a place where I learned that magic is actually not existent. Actually, the only thing that we have are miracles, right? These kind of things. I've been raised Catholic and having all that idea that only God can do miracles. Humans are just not good enough. And so I have that perspective, that belief system that I've been keeping with me. And I was somehow still having that idea of, yeah, magic is miracle. Magic is doing miracle. Until I realized that I had still that point of view. And then so I made the choice to let go of that point of view, just to do magic. Seriously doing it and I have fun with it. Not got caught into any intention or any overdoing it or taking it too serious. um, I mean, this reality, you see how it is. So it's not really something that you take serious in the sense, oh, I'm gonna manifest a tiger in the middle of the ocean. Oh, I'm gonna make levitate all the water of the river. Yes. And I'm gonna change the color of the moon. Yeah, of course. Yeah, those are all things that are possible. Nothing is impossible. However, our reality works in a certain way, and we have taken a reality. We are in a reality where magic has been discounted and tried to be eliminated. Right, fear and all of that has been chosen over the magic. So when it comes to get into it, well, there's that mindset and that idea of right religion and limitations that come with that belief system that have to go. Cannot do magic if you hold the idea that only God, the Christian God, can do miracles and that humans are just there to beg for it. Do you want healing? Beg God, the Christian God, to heal you. Maybe if the Christian God is occupied somewhere else, you may have a saint doing it. The saints can do it, but generally it's just God giving them the opportunity, right? The power to do, because everything comes back to the Christian God. So you actually cannot do anything else if God doesn't want it, He doesn't allow it. But as God is obviously very often occupied somewhere else, meaning doesn't give a shit about human beings, we need saints to do the job, and very often they're not doing it because they may be also occupied somewhere else, because not everyone that is begging, well, let's say praying, begging, also praying, begging for a miracle, they don't get it. So yeah, right, that idea. So I started doing that, and I remember the other day I remembered, oh, I have a wand. Actually, I bought some years ago this wand, and it was there just laying there. And so the other day I said, well, let me take that. Oh, I was talking with a friend, Omer, and I said, yeah, look here, I have my wand actually. And then I realized, well, let me keep the wand always with me, always here, out, and let me use it. And let me, well, do magic with it, right? Do you want a permission slip? Let's get a permission slip to make magic. Do you need a wand? No, I don't need a wand, but I have a wand. I use the wand. And so the other day, the first thing that I've done is that I was, but actually I did the magic already beforehand. I was in my pyramid, and then I made a spell asking for the rain. It was a raining spell. And as I did that, I heard the answer in my head saying, next week's gonna rain. And the following week, it rained a lot. So this week, I think it was on Wednesday, I did another spell, but this time, instead of going to the rain, I went to the spirit of the water, and I asked to the spirit of the water and the rain to come in abundance there where there is complaint, because there is no enough water. People are so complaining about these kind of things all the time. When it's raining too much and everything is dying. When it's not raining, oh, it's not raining enough and everything is dying. So they're never Anyway, so I did that at 5 p.m. on, I think it was Wednesday. At 6:30, it was raining. So then, I think it was last night, the night before, I did another spell, this time on abundance, prosperity, abundance, but realizing that actually I don't need to ask for, right? I don't need to make a spell to have prosperity or to have abundance, because I know that I have abundance. I don't need to create it. I'm already abundance. So it's not about getting it, it's about expressing it, or more correctly, perceiving it. It's the perception of it that is lacking. It's not abundance in itself, it's the believing in the abundance being there. And that goes also not just with the abundance, it goes also with the magic, right? It's the believing in, oh, I'm doing this. 1.5 hours after doing the spell, it's raining. Where I mean, when I did the spell, there were no clouds, there were nothing. There was a big sun in the sky, and there was absolutely nothing. And after I did I went shopping, and I came out of the shopping, and I see, oh, look at that, the clouds are coming, and the sky is getting all clouded. Yeah. So you see, and then what is the thing about believing it is that when I see that, then I say, well, now I have a choice. Do I accept, oh, look at me, I did this, and now this is happening? Has the spell worked? Or am I just delusional and that was just right already expected, or right? It's gonna rain. Well, you know that sometime it's gonna rain. Anyway, but actually, just say, long story about that. But that is the point now. Do I believe it? Or am I going to discount it, saying, oh, I'm delusional. It was going to rain anyway. But that's where vibration, where now the knowing of creation, the knowing of vibration kicks in. And now I know that it's a choice. It's not about it worked, it didn't work. It's not about deciding which one I want to believe or I want to be true or whatever like that. No. Now it's a choice. Do I choose me, or do I choose the external? And there is the vibration. If I choose me, then the vibration is one. And that's a vibration of, this is what I do. And then there, the doubt leaves me. I'm not expressing the doubt. I choose, this is what I've done. Or I've chosen, this is what I've done. Or I take the belief system, religion, that says, no, we cannot make magic. It's a choice. And I've seen that as a choice. And you see, now, magic, you do a spell. What is that? Well, vibration, creation, human experience. What is the human experience? Yeah, well, potential. You make a spell, you have the spell works, the spell doesn't work. Good, right? Because when you have a potential, you have its opposite. So you are exploring both the successful spell and a not successful spell. Both happen. So at that point is, which version am I attracting? Which version am I vibrating? When I do the spell and I believe in the spell and I believe it works, then my vibration says I'll attract the reality with the spell working. That's the most obvious, the most probable outcome I will have. If I go into that and I have doubts and I say, well, bro, let's see, it doesn't work, but bitch, what are you trying to do? You know that these fine things, that kind of stuff. Well, then obviously the outcome probably will be the spell doesn't work, or doubts, or refusal, or whatever like that, right? Because that is how it works. You do something, you do the spell, outcome, do you accept it as working? And especially when you see that it worked. And one can say, yeah, yeah, rain is coming. Well, unless you are in the desert and there, well, probably it's not coming, but probably if I had done that in the desert, and then in the desert I have the rain coming 1 hour and a half after I do the spell, I'll believe it more easily, right? But that's bullshit. It's funny, but it's still bullshit because it doesn't matter. You do something and you do a spell, and then you have something happening. Well, accept it. Accept your reality as it is presented to you. Don't refuse it, as you have been trained to refuse anything that puts you at your advantage, puts you into a position of, let's say, power, because you have been trained to refuse all of that, because you have been told, oh, no, only God does that. Only certain people are able to do certain things. Oh, only presidents have access to certain things. Only politicians can allow themselves. Well, only the police can do this. Only. But it's never you. It's always them, right? No, we can. Always. We can do whatever we want in every circumstances and in every moment. It's a question of choice, and it's a question of belief system. So we will apply our belief system. That's why it's right. I'm taking time with this really to point out how the way I vibrate, the way I've chosen to express my belief or to change my belief and make it my knowing, well, that is going to determine whether what I'm doing now is going to have an outcome or not. It's going to have an outcome. Whether that outcome is yes or whether that outcome is no, right? Well, which one am I going to attract? Success, failure? Well, both are there. So last night I made this prosperity spell, and as I said, it was not about creating it or attracting it, because I don't need neither. I am prosperity, and I know that I am prosperity. It's even now that I have to go to look after it in some special places, because I am then the special place, because I am prosperity. There is no way that I need to go looking for it anywhere else. I'm it. I am the thing. I am that thing, right? So I did that, and I did that in the perspective of um, taking away the blinds that I have built for myself that are limiting my view, my seeing things, and therefore seeing what is there, perceiving what is there. That's what is needed. It's to take away those blinds. Those blinds are belief systems, are teachings, are all those things that have come there and that have been used to create those blinds, so that we stay we keep ourselves in that spot. And so I've done that, and then today, well, it was for me already, it's already yesterday, but I received a call because this week I had a interview for a job, and I went to that interview and I just went there. I chose to go because I said, well, I realized I don't need to refuse interviews. Let's go because I'm not trying to resist to reality. I'm not trying to refuse reality. This comes to me, so I'm going to have the experience. I accept to have the experience. So then I do this prosperity spell, so Friday morning I receive a call. So it's less than 24 hours after that, and they're saying that they really appreciated my interview, and they're asking me for a second one, which I was even not asking. I was even not thinking about that because I wonder with absolutely no idea of having any of that. Because I've decided that when I am in that situation of interviews, I refuse to play games. I refuse to lie for whatever reason. I just say what I want to say because it's what I perceive, which is not the way you do interviews for a job, because you are required to play a identity of, right? So the identity that is copying what they are asking for, that is, right, creating that character that fits the description of the job and what they're asking. So when they're being me. And so when I received this call, that gave me the feeling that it's quite, I can have it if I want it. My mind went back to the spell that I've done, saying, oh, maybe this is my prosperity. Because then, as that was happening, I started saying, oh, fuck, maybe this is it. And when I did that, then I realized another thing, something that we have, or I had as a belief system, which is that by getting into this job, I will gain security again, and that I will be more prosperous. And I didn't realize that that was still there. I was surprised when I realized it, when I saw that. So I was giving myself that that experience of realizing that. And you see, spells work in such a interesting way, because it seemed like oh, I'm gaining the opportunity to get prosperity. Actually, I gained the opportunity to see my belief system, to understand my belief system so that I can change that. Obviously, first by accepting it and then letting go of that. But also, then that gave me a view of prosperity. I gain a understanding of my prosperity because when I hold a belief system that something is giving me prosperity, I'm limiting myself. I'm limiting what is possible. I'm saying, oh, that is the way for prosperity. Well, no, it is not the way for prosperity. There is not a way for prosperity. You see, when you are clear about these things, then yeah, whatever comes along, and you are accepting that as giving you your living, but you know this is just one way. What we gain, what we have as belief system is that there is only one way to be prosperous, to have money and to make money and all of that, is through a corporate job or right having this kind of ideas, this kind of things. So there I was seeing that idea, that perspective, and I say, and I realized that I saw that, and then there is another thing. There is the thing of wow, so huh, corporate job, security, huh, and to get in that thing and to see that thing as something, identity, security, but bringing into that place. And so that helped me a lot in just assessing myself and reassessing myself and re-understanding myself and getting into seeing prosperity even now in a well different way, not really different, but enlarging it, making it wider, giving myself more opportunity for prosperity. And again, it's not creation in the sense I need to make it come. No, it's in taking away the blinds. They're out there and they are making me see things in a certain way where there is much more. It's always a question of determining that, choosing, and then affirming the self in a certain way. I choose different. And when I realize, look at me, I'm choosing differently from what the convention says. I was there. Yes, I'm choosing differently. The convention says, jump, be happy, and run there as fast as you can. And I choose not to. Because you see, the if I take my prosperity as being linked to that and the necessity of that, then I'm saying that's the only way. And I know that's not true. But there is always this need, right, to really see all of that and understand all of that. So the spell worked big time, great time. And the spell is not limited, so it's right, it's more than just that, but it's a realization. Look at me. I'm I'm using what we call magic. It's magic, and it's happening, and it's working. Quite fast. And these things are trained, need to be trained, and in order to have them going right to the next level. So yeah, so I'm staying with my wand. I keep it next to me, and I keep it out, and I gave it the name because so well, let's get each other, let's know each other. Oh, let's know each other on first name level. Yeah, so that's interesting. Now that thing that actually is more connected with what I was saying, that what I realized, that let's talk about the collective, because, well, let's talk about the collective. What is the perception of the collective? Well, the perception of the collective is that there are several Earth, and each version has a collective. Even there are many versions of each one of us, right? And the idea is that each one of them is part of a different Earth collective, because they are part of different timelines, different stuff like that. Okay, this is what I perceive being a belief, right? Which implies that each version of ourselves that we have is dissociated from this version because they have a different collective. Even though actually we are connected and we are very close and we are the same being and there is no separation, so it's always the same being having different experience, the different nows, exploring all the possibilities coming from a choice. Oh, a choice, infinite outcomes for each choice, and we explore those, right? Because, oh, well, that's fun. We are having fun, actually, and we are having fun with that. So, it doesn't make sense to have a different collective for every version of a different version of parallel version of whatever of us. And are they really different? And actually, when we are thinking about timelines, what are we really talking about? Are they separated? Well, no, we know that we are jumping from timelines to timelines all the time, many times, this and that and that and this and that and this and that, and pump and pump, up and down, left, right. Yeah. That's happening. Which then is not making sense with different collectives, because it means that I'm jumping from one version to another version, and that version is supposed to be on another timeline, meaning they are supposed to be in another collective. Say that it loses all of its sense in separating the collective in many collectives, right? Saying, oh, this earth has a collective, that earth has another collective, and that earth has another collective. Obviously, there are sub-collective. We create that kind of things because when we come together, creating something, co-creating something. Well, we are creating a little collective, right? When we have a group of people that are it's a mini collective. Yeah, we're not aware of that, obviously, but that's what we're doing. And so when we go to the level of, right, the collective of Earth, human collective of Earth, or is it just human collective of Earth, or is it a collective of Earth? That could be very interesting. Well, we have certainly a collective of humans, that for sure. But isn't that also connecting us with all the beings that are connected with Gaia? And I'm sure that we have that too. Why would we limit that just between humans and forget everyone else? But you see, that's where I want to come, is that the realization that when it comes to each one of us and then to the collective, what is happening is that we have we have one collective of Earth for every different versions of the story of Earth. There is only one, because what is happening is what? But the difference between this version and another version of me, what is the memory? So the link, the moments that are remembered by the being can perceived as being part of the memory. So those moments are real, they're happening, but what we also know is that that's not fixed. Memory can change. But what does that mean? How can I change a memory, my memory, and shifting that from one moment to another moment, if that doesn't belong to the same Earth collective? Huh? Hello? Hi. Um, where was I? How can we jump from one timeline to another timeline if we are not in the same collective? And if the memory is changing, and taking in different moments, how can it be if it's not the same Earth, if it's not the same collective? Well, to make it simple, yeah, it's that it's the same Earth and it's the same collective, and which gives an idea of the vastity, how huge the collective is, because it's a collective where all of those expressions are considered. They are belonging to that. So all the version of me, the you, the everyone here, all that, well, it's part of the collective. And to be even more clear is that even though I have so many versions of me, or it's not versions, it's me. I have different versions of the story, yes, but it's me. So it's not different me's. There is one of me, always, having experiences in different moments, yes, and not all of those moments are connected with each other. So meaning that the memory that I have of my life, of my timeline, are those that are relating to, but then there are what we call all the versions of the self that have different memories. Like, and those different memories can be as different and separated. That can be one part of the galaxy and the other part of the galaxy, right? There is no connection whatsoever. One version is, in one version, I'm a woman. In the other, I am a man. In one version, I work as, I don't know, president. In the other version, I'm working as factory worker. Who knows, right? These are all potential possibilities. These are all realities, different moments that are there, where we have experiences, but then we do not relate that to all of those because we cannot. I'm here in this state. I'm here talking to a camera, right? There are other versions of me that in this moment, or what will be right relating to this exact moment in time, that are having a completely different experience. The different body, different mindset, different everything, nothing to do with me. And those they are me. It's still me. It's not, but we are separated and we are not aware of each other, in the sense that we are not aware physically in seeing each other. But we do, because we encounter in other plan of reality, we do have connections. We do see each other because we are one. We are all connected. Ooh. So that is bringing that, and all of those infinite moments where we are having our experiences. Doesn't matter which version, what right body, and whatever we are expressing in those moments. It's always the same being, one being. Different personalities, different versions, different egos, different, because that's what we choose to express. But the collective is one. And in that collective, well, we are all represented with all the whole story. All of that is there. So you see, that gives you an idea of how huge big the collective really is, if we were to measure it or to express this in any way. And you can see that it's not 8 billion beings, or whatever humans, and it's much larger. There is so much in that collective that it's beyond what we understand, or the understanding of one single person, right? A human created, limited LTD. So the collective is one. And that's funny because, right, we want to perceive separation. We want to be separated. We want everyone to be in their corner and not bothering each other and all of that. But we cannot do that because we are all together, all connected in this huge infinite that we call the self, the God, creator. in such a way. Oh wow, yeah, beyond anything. Hmm. So when we talk about the collective perception of the collective, but also when we talk about Earth, we want to make so many Earth out there, different version, and every version is really different. No, even that there is one Earth. It's yours. What you're creating of it. It's mine. I'm creating of it. There is an idea of the planet, yes, that is correct. That is true. But you see, if you pay attention, if you were really to pay attention, you'll see that there are things that change around you so much. You were watching outside of your window and you had a synagogue, and then next time you watch out of that window, you have a forest, you have a skyscraper, or anything else, a business, whatever. And maybe they even don't know about whatever was there before, but it's forgotten because it never was there. It was there, yes, it was, except that changing timeline, changing, it's not there anymore, it's gone. Thank you, goodbye. Another timeline, another version, still there, still real. It doesn't go away from that. It's simply that it's not your reality anymore. So, somebody came in, and I have to recover what I was saying. Mm, yeah, see a shift, a change, and I've I don't remember. I have to. Yeah. hmm So you just can right the idea of one thing, or oh, um, this is it, this is what is happening, this is what the collective want, it's one thing can determine everything. Yeah, but you see, it's that thing that is so huge, so big, and with this earth not being dissociated in multiple earth. I just find it with what they're doing with Marvel, DC Comics, and that kind of thing. Well, they have their versions of multiverse. First of all, they make it really physical, external, in the sense that yeah, you have to travel, and there is all that stuff, and mm, but we know that when you travel from one Earth to another Earth, you do not jump physically from one to the other. You are just there in a different, what is a jump, right? Different. But you do not jump it in that way, and they have it so physical and so external that it's like, oh, you can meet yourself in a different earth. Why is different? Oh no. Well, no, because you create moments, so it's the moment. It's not time. It's not, you're in that moment, and if you have an experience, you are creating a new moment. In that moment, you're not changing anything. Oh, I capturing so many things, and it's like, hmm, there's a lot. So I'm not focused on what I'm saying. I'm capturing so many things. Right, let me just center. So yes, the collective is giganteous from your point of view of human beings. Is it will be right something incredibly huge and big and all of that, but it's one collective, and you have a collective with all the beings that are relating to Earth, and that is even bigger. It's absolutely, because you see, there are many beings that you are not seeing. There are many things that you are not perceiving, seeing, because of all those blinds that you have created for yourself. But you have created those blinds for yourself because you needed in that moment to have those blinds. You were too scared. You were losing yourself in craziness of scared, trying to stop everyone different, everyone that was not relating to your being human being. Well, you were just not wanting them. And every animal that was scaring you to that level of, well, you made it very clear. Don't want them. Go away or we kill you. So they left. Oh, God, that sounds great. Um, yeah. So you actually created your blinds, and you are just perceiving what you choose of your environment, of your earth, what you are attracting. But if you lose those blinds, if you allow yourself to perceive what is behind the delusion you are limiting, you'll see much more. You'll be able to travel to those versions of Earth that are different, with different beings that you are now seeing like, oh, fantasy or not really related to you, or that kind of thing, but they are on Earth. You have a version of Earth, but it's not all of Earth. It's your version. And it works really well because you can go around your Earth and have the impression that you are really visiting the totality of the planet, of this sphere. Well, that's a version. And as you're creating what you need to create in the moment, and that you are not create the wall of Earth at any given moment, because you do not need to do that. And even when you are in space, looking and watching Earth and perceiving the sphere that this blue sphere that Earth is, yeah, blue and green sphere, right? There is that too, but mainly depending blue. It's true. When you are doing that, well, you're still doing it for yourself, from your perspective, with what is your story. You always are able to come back to your story, to your version of Earth the human version of Earth that is limited to what humans decide to limit it. But there are so many beings, so many more. So you're going to discover a world, a Gaia that is completely different from your limited point of view. Yes, because sooner or later you're going to encounter these beings in a taking away the blinds. Suddenly they appear. Suddenly you can see them. You can exchange with them because you are no longer creating those barriers. It's like going through a portal and suddenly you realize your blindness once you are in the other side. And you discover you, yourself, and your reality under a new light. Oh, how beautiful it is. How many beautiful beings that you have had no idea they existed. Yeah. Hmm. Why? So you're going to enlarge your point of view and discover so much more. But then it's that you're going to discover so much more about yourself. Because once you allow that, it's vibration and it's choice. When you choose that version of Earth where you are able to perceive all of that, look at that. Interesting what you're seeing right now, right? When you start seeing those beings, exchanging with those beings, the fairies, what you call inner earth inhabitants, the Naga, but there are many others, Middle Earth, yes, those version of the stories, right? Earth not resembling at all to the version that you have right now. That those books, they are Earth, but not your Earth, different version, but it's still Earth. But from one version of Earth, which is a belief system which determines the lands and the sky and river and oceans, seas, right? Yeah, all of that. It's a belief system that you apply. You decide. We put this there, that there, land, sea, ocean. Oh, so many things. So many things that you are discovering for yourself. But which is not discovery, you are never really anymore discovering. You're simply taking away your blinds and becoming aware little by little. We're leaving now. It's time to go to bed and have some rest. Goodbye. All right. Oh, well. Oh, okay. I'm really getting some rest now. So thank you so much for watching and joining and sharing this moment with me in whatever moment. Oh, I love you, and I will be seeing you in the next moment.